My name is Don Schalk. I am a member of the College of Business, Leadership, and Communication. Also, a faculty member in the business department and director of the MBA program. We're pleased today to have Andy Moses with us. Andy is an executive at Penske and is our executive in residence this year. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you all for coming, but also like to acknowledge our faculty. So if they would stand and give them a round of applause. Also recognize our provost, Glynis Fitzgerald. Glynis, would you stand? Or is she probably out in the back? So, okay, so let's get to it, Andy, and let's talk a little bit about what's going on in business today, about Penske and such, and we'll have a nice conversation. So, first of all, could you give a brief background of yourself, the job that you do at Penske? And also, I think Penske is a rather diverse organization. Can you tell the students in the audience a little bit about what businesses and areas that Penske operates in?
Well, thanks, Don. And it's great to be with the group today and appreciate being invited to speak. It's an honor to be associated with Alvernia, and I'm looking forward to our time together today. So yes, so Penske, I'm very proud to be part of Penske. It has been, in 2 weeks, I'll be 37 years with Penske. So that's a bunch of time. And have stayed all those years with the same organization. So I think it speaks well. And there's a lot like me at Penske that have been really spent their whole career with the organization. But most people associate Penske for our rental trucks, the bright yellow rental trucks that we have. We have probably 80,000 of those all over Canada and Mexico and the United States. So that's the truck rental and leasing side of Penske. And so we acquire trucks from all the major manufacturers. We provide those to companies that need to use vehicles as part of their operations. And then we maintain the vehicles for those customers throughout the life of the vehicle. So if you're a furniture manufacturer, if you're Wawa, if you're an automotive manufacturer, if you're a distributor, if you're a metals company, you've got to distribute your product. You're going to use a fleet, but the hassles of maintaining it can be challenging, and that's what our truck rental and leasing business does to support customers. So that business plays out over about 750 operating locations in North America, and we have a tremendous career path for people within that, as people start out at a location and then have opportunities to move up through the ranks. And it's been a great career path for our company for many, many years. I'm in a different part of Penske. So I am with Penske Logistics. Anyone know much about logistics? A couple of people probably do, I bet. So I'm with Penske Logistics, and we are what's considered a 3PL. There's a little jargon for you, a third-party logistics provider. And so what we do is we operate fleets of trucks for companies. We operate warehouse facilities and everything that goes with that, providing the technology, the people, the safety, the insurance, the material handling equipment, everything you can imagine inside a big warehouse to move freight. And we also manage freight for our customers across all transportation modes. So what are the transportation modes? Truck, rail, air, ocean, parcel. We manage freight for our customers across all those. So that's a little bit about Penske itself. My role in Penske Logistics is I lead sales and solutions for our business. And so we have roughly 100 people that are part of my team. And it all ties together. So the salespeople are out talking to shippers. Shippers are organizations that have logistics needs, and they're determining needs of companies. Everyone knows Wawa, so I'll use Wawa as an example. Wawa is a long-standing customer. Our drivers deliver to every Wawa location every day of the year by 4:30 a.m. So if you're in the habit of stopping into a Wawa and grabbing a muffin or a donut or something fun in the morning, that's been delivered by one of our drivers. And that all comes from a warehouse that we operate on Wawa's behalf, where this product is baked, moved into the warehouse, and then distributed on this fleet of trucks. And so our salespeople go out and find other customers like Wawa. And then our solutions group includes engineers and pricing specialists and contract administration specialists. And the engineers have to figure out what's the best way to accomplish this task, what resources are required to do whatever it is the shipper wants done. And then we figure out the most opportune way to do that, the most cost-effective way. And then we sell those solutions and implement them, start them up, operate them. And that all together is about a $3 billion business for Penske within the broader Penske, which is about a $10 billion business, headquartered right down the street here in Green Hills. So that's a little bit about the company and my role, Don.
So, one of the things that you hear a lot in business today when I go out and talk to businesses and clients is the term culture. And, certainly if if you read business publications today, you're hearing things about the quiet quit or disengagement by employees. So tell me about the culture of Penske, its core values, and what's the management and leadership style like there?
Thanks, Don. So this culture thing is super important. So anywhere you're going to be spending a lot of time in your future, you want that to be as part of an institution where you feel you align to its values, its business practices, how it treats suppliers and customers and the people that work, for that business. I think that's super important. Penske has a very unique and interesting culture. If you think about the company, for many people, what they know best is racing. So Penske Racing is a famous institution, and we are involved with NASCAR racing. We're the winningest team in Indy racing and NASCAR racing, the Daytona 500, the Indianapolis 500, and many other races. And so there's no question that there's a winning culture that's part of Penske. We love to win, but we want to win fair and square. So it's a highly ethical culture. I would say at the core of our culture really is integrity. We want to do things the right way. We want to have the kind of company that people who have values that we associate with the company, that they're comfortable being part of that organization. And so we're very focused on having really a highly customer and associate, we call our employees associates, responsive type culture. Means everything to us. And nothing is more important than that. Winning a deal or doing something unethical never transcends the importance of doing things the right way for us. And we live by that every day. And fortunately, we are capable enough to compete fair and square and win a lot of the time. We don't win them all. No one does in business, right, Don? But we certainly win our fair share, and this has resulted in a business that's grown from just $3 million in revenue in 1969, started right here in Reading, to over $10 billion today. And so that culture is a very important part of why we think we've been able to succeed. I would say beyond that, we're really focused on serving. So Penske is a culture where to get ahead, the number one, I would say, aspect of how you conduct yourself would be collaboration. And so in any organization today, performance is very, very important. Very, very, very important. You can't succeed without strong performance from people in every aspect of your business. But we feel that really collaboration is even a step above that in importance. So if you get the right people who know how to work together, because I'll just share how many different functions there are that make our business go. So we have operations, which includes diesel truck mechanics and soon electric vehicle mechanics, because they're coming on. Truck drivers, warehouse forklift operators. We have folks that work in sales. We have folks that work in accounting. We have folks that work in safety, people that work in loss prevention, people that work in engineering, IT. And so that's all got to come together. So collaboration's probably king for us. And folks that collaborate well, tend to feel right at home at Penske.
How about the management style? What's the management style like?
Yeah, the management style is something I'm also proud of. So I have 100 people on my team, and I wake up every day thinking about how I serve them. So it's not like it's everything that they're there to do for me. I'm thinking about how do I enable them? Do they have the right tools to do their job? Are there obstacles that need to be cleared for them to enable them to do their job easier, faster, better, more capably? So I think that's a big part of how we look at things, and I'm confident if we can keep that up, that sort of servant leadership mindset, it'll put us in good stead for many years to come.
The Penske is not a publicly traded company. Is that correct?
So it's a little complicated. Our ownership structure is 70% owned by Penske Corporation, 30% owned by Mitsui. Mitsui is a Japanese-based conglomerate that has holdings in many companies in many industries. And then within that 70% ownership of us does include a public company within Penske's realm, which is our Penske Automotive Group. So I didn't mention this previously, but a sister company to us is Penske Automotive Group, which is best known in auto retailing, selling cars. So we sell 400,000 cars a year in Penske, and that entity is public and owns a piece of us. So because of that, we have this interesting set of circumstances where we don't operate as a public company, but part of our ownership is public, and thus some of our financial reporting and things end up being made public through their financial filings.
Yeah, the reason I ask that question is companies that tend to be privately held versus publicly held tend to be more patient capital-wise. And any thoughts about that as to why that might be a benefit in Penske and its growth?
Yeah, it's a big deal. And when you say patient, you read about companies that are under pressure to manage quarter by quarter because you report quarterly earnings if you're a public company. Investors are wanting to know what you're up to and how you're going to drive the stock price up. And so there's a tendency to believe that some public companies at times maybe operate with a bit more of a short-term mindset. In our case, we don't operate as a public company. I would say we've tended to take a very long-term approach to customer relationships and to matters relating to our